JD McPherson with us in the Bing Lounge this afternoon. JD Band, first of all, welcome to Portland.
Thank you for having us. Very happy to be here.
Are you kidding? Is this your first time in Portland? Is this the first time touring through the Northwest?
This project, yes, first time.
Very cool. Well, welcome to Portland with this project, and you guys, welcome to the McPherson School of Cool right here.
All right.
This is the way it is.
I am literally the uncoolest person you could ever meet. I promise you that.
I doubt that, man. I doubt that. You were bringing it, and you're getting a lot of rave reviews. We've got the new one that's been out now for like a month and a half, Signs and Signifiers. And you know what? First of all, before we talk about the album, introduce the rest of coolness up here on the stage.
Okay. Yeah, the real actual cool people. Starting over here to my left, on tenor saxophone, Mr. Mondo Barami. Yes. Over there on the keys, my good buddy, Mr. Ray Hasildo. Mr. Jimmy Sutton on the upright bass. Yes. And of course, Mr. Jason Smay on the drums from Rochester, New York.
Now, from what I gather, Jimmy is like the Yoda of everything analog, right?
That or Jabba. He's either Jabba or Yoda.
How's a kid from an art student and an art teacher actually from Oklahoma meet up with an analog guru from Chicago?
MySpace.
Digitally? Yeah, digitally.
Was it? So seriously, I mean, how is it? And now I looked at your background and I checked out that, of course, you had the art background and this just another form of art, just a different medium. But you have had other projects that were definitely touring and big stuff. How
Well, it's funny. I'm actually have an art background too. We're both artists.
Really?
Yeah, you didn't know that, but I'm actually an artist. But yeah, I just started to build a studio maybe about 8 years ago, and it all started with a little quarter-inch machine that a German buddy of mine talked me into buying on eBay, and then another ribbon microphone. And then he brought me a Telefunken machine from Germany on the plane. I was like, "You brought that on the plane?" Yeah. And yeah, and just kind of grew from there and built a studio in my attic. And JD approached me on MySpace digitally.
Had this always been a part of your past, or I mean, don't tell me you came from a Journey cover band or something.
Well, no. I mean, I did have a country and western band in high school that played at a pie supper in Heavener, Oklahoma once. And, I had little punk bands and stuff in high school, and I sat in on War Ensemble by Slayer with a metal band from Norman one night. I could still play that probably. But now I love all music, you know what I mean? But the stuff that really interests me the most is sort of the rhythm and blues stuff and early rock and roll.
Well, I've had a blues show in town for like 18 years, and you have no idea how easily this album just fits into anything with the blues. And hearing your slapping, I mean, it's Willie Dixon throwbacks for me. And I mean, there's not many people doing exactly what you're doing, but every time you tell anybody about this music, or I turn anybody onto this album, they're all about it. I mean, I can name like James Hunter, Nick Curran, and those are about the only ones. And now you, and I mean, this one is so true to the sound too. Now, when you guys go back, and I'm not going to use the word retro, but when you go back to a sound, but you want to move it forward and make it yours, was there always that in the background of your mind when you were recording that?
Yeah, when we got together to make the record, we had a few songs in our back pocket, but we were sort of thinking making an album for ourselves. I mean, our kind of goal was to play a weekender in Spain once in a while, because I had a steady job, and like, man, let's make a record for ourselves. Let's write, songs that aren't time machine songs, I guess you could say. And there is certainly a lot of homage to the original stuff, but there's some of the other influences in there too, creeping in, I think you could say.
Well, that's one of the crazy things I saw. Now, I hear my blues, my love of blues and the influence in there, and of course the Duane Eddies and everything else, but I was reading on your website, you said you've got and kind of put a little bit of like even Wu-Tang and that kind of stuff in there. Where's this coming? Don't freak me out like that.
This quote's going to follow us around for the rest of our lives. But we were arranging a Tiny Kennedy song on the record. It's one of the two covers on the record called Country Boy. And we were just talking about 36 Chambers and how the RZA and Raekwon were taking these kind of organic sounding soul drums and looping them and having these sort of piano loops. And So why don't we kind of arrange the song following that kind of paradigm, the kind of looping hip-hop thing? Well, James Brown did that too. James Brown would set up a beat in the studio and then just talk over it, basically. So that was kind of in a roundabout way how Wu-Tang creeps in there, but you're not going to hear like Bruce Lee karate chopping stuff in the background.
Yeah, I was like, no, I don't even hear it, but all right, I appreciate it because you're the artist and you know your art better than I. But, well, I'll tell you what, I love this app. Is that an homage to Hometown? Is that?
Yes, it is.
If you can't see it on the kick drum up here, there is a broken arrow, and the man is from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, right?
It is, and also the Broken Arrow, from what I have been told by friends of mine down there, there's a large Native American population in Oklahoma, and the kind of broken arrow is sort of the symbol of ending of a conflict. And I don't know, I just thought it was kind of nice. It looks cool.
Well, it's been a whirlwind like year and a half for you. Good for you for finding your... It has been, hasn't it? And I mean, I've taken a look at your itinerary. You guys are busy. I mean, is it craziness on the bus with you guys?
The bus.
Tell me all about that huge tour bus and the bunks and...
It's a microbus.
It's a microbus. Well, I'll tell you what, man, you're doing what you love, and enjoy the ride because we enjoy having you here in Portland. We've got them. They're actually at Music Millennium this afternoon as well. They are busy today alone. And at the Bunk Bar tonight, get the new one, Signs and Signifiers. I guarantee it won't leave the CD player. JD McPherson and the boys, thank you very much for being in the Bing Lounge.
All right.